What's up, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of Tone Clones, the series where I try and recreate famous, iconic guitar tones using nothing but gear that I already have in terms of guitars and basses, soon to come, and my Kemper Stage Profiler. I'm using nothing but free profiles you guys can get, whether it's stock on the Kemper Profiler or whether you find it for free on the Rig Exchange. And who are we sounding like today? None other than Jimmy Page of Led Zeppelin. What can I say? The guy is amazing. Really without him, heavy metal and guitar playing, I feel like as we know it today, none of that would exist. I mean, the guy is the original riff lord, him and Tony Iommi up there. So definitely not an easy test. The guy's used a lot of gear over the years, very well known for using like his Dan Electros, Les Pauls, 335s, and a bunch of things in between as far as amps, using oranges, using Supros, using Fender Champs, or like a couple other tweeds, obviously Marshalls, like Blues Breakers and Plexus and all that kind of stuff. So to say like a Jimmy Page tone, it's kind of a hard task because everything has something different. You look at Black Dog and it's going straight into the board. So I was kind of going for an overall Jimmy Page tone. I was kind of going, especially off the first two records, listening to nice light guitar tracks and doing something that was kind of all-encompassing, as well as taking into account kind of like a live tone. This is kind of somewhere an amalgamation of all of that. Needless to say, there are a ton of effects, ton of alternate tones that I could go through and create, and eventually I might do. So to go over gear today, we are using another Les Paul. So this one right here is a little bit newer one in my collection. It is a 1989 Les Paul Custom, just like the one if you guys saw my Slash video. I used the same guitar in black. It's another 89 Epiphone Les Paul Custom, really cool. It's the first year they did it Les Paul Custom. It's also the last year that they had this sort of headstock until they brought it back. It was like 2 years ago for the new Epiphone stuff. A little bit about the guitar. It has the Whole Lot of Humbuckers set, and then it has just some ratio tuners. I guess the old ones went bad before I got it. Other than that, everything's pretty much stock. I mean, the wiring I think is just your normal Gibson wiring layout with orange drop caps. Got a little bit of relic here on the neck. Freaking awesome guitar with a lot of mojo. And yeah, it came stock with the Whole Lot of Humbuckers set, so I figured this is a perfect thing to use when we're trying to sound like Jimmy Page. Other than that, let's hop into the computer and I'll show you guys the settings we're using for this. In the Rig Manager, I just had to sort of my local library, but this one that I got that we're starting with is a Supro Black Magic from Marco Formosa. I think from Rig Exchange. I just searched Supro and it was like one of the top ones that had a pretty good fan rating. You can look over here. There's not really a ton of info. It's recorded on a 112 and with a C14. But with this one, it comes with a couple effects already standard on there. So I went through and stripped everything that was there. It was just kind of a great sounding tone kind of in the middle. You got a little bit of kind of like the Marshall meets the Fender kind of breaking up. I don't know. I love the way Supro sound. They're great amps. So we started with that. We're not going super high gain here. A little bit of a mid cut and a bass cut. Boost the treble just a little bit. It was feeling a little boxy, just the way the profile came, at least with my setup. Other than that, I didn't really touch anything down here, but I added the Kemper drive. I'm a huge fan of doing, you just go to the Kemper drive and then like the Klon 1 setting. And then I just push the drive up just a little bit to get a little more breakup. But I honestly feel like using the Klon setting just gives, and you don't have to touch anything, it just makes every amp sound that much more lifelike. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it back in the Appetite for Destruction, but this is kind of a mainstay on any rig that I do, especially if it's like a dirtier thing. But even if you're doing clean, like I found throwing this on like a twin reverb sounds really freaking cool. So definitely give that a shot if you haven't. So I got that, and then the only other thing that I really added to get the main tone was this studio equalizer. And something I noticed that, like, when you're listening to Jimmy Page's stuff, there's a lot of time, at least two guitars, and you're using different guitars, different amps, or all that kind of stuff. So there's kind of a like a slap back going on. It wasn't like tight as double tracking, all that kind of stuff back then, especially like all the stuff to tape, and it was great. They let the music breathe. But I noticed doing the steeping low, I think, comes standard when you turn this on, but then steeping the high seems to just get a little bit more of kind of like the combination. I don't know how to describe it. I was listening to the isolated guitar tracks for Good Times, Bad Times, and it was just like hearing the way those balanced. Once I tweaked that setting, it just made a pretty big difference in terms of feeling a little bit more lifelike. So you guys can play around with it. This isn't a dead-on Jimmy Page tone. I'll be the first to admit it is kind of something in his vein, to where if you were to try and do like a cover of a Zeppelin song on YouTube, this would be a great place to start. If you guys are touring and playing a Zeppelin song live, or you're in the studio and you just have a riff, you're like, oh, okay, let's try this in some Jimmy Page headspace and see what kind of tones we can get and what that inspires. So this is a little bit more for that. It's not going through and nailing down specifically one song, because like I said, he's used so many different effects and amps and all that kind of stuff that you really would have to break it down and do individually per song. That's going to be it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you found something useful in here. Let me know if you guys try this yourself, or honestly any other settings that you guys have tried. If you've tried to replicate a specific song, or Jimmy Page, I feel like he's iconic enough people have probably got their own little version of what to do. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Hit like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see more videos to come. I got a bunch of artists planned, so stick around. See you guys later.